Hey, what's up, guys? Guys, remember or recall I have a video on my channel. You guys can go back and watch. I said Kyler Murray is a football player, and I said Kyler Murray is going to declare strictly to the NFL draft. And not only did he declare, I'm saying this is when he was declared. I said he's going to play football. He's not going to play baseball. And today it came out this morning that he is he's gonna focus on football only and not baseball. Today's spring training starts in the Oakland Athletics. This was 20 minutes after reports came out that the Oakland Athletics were feeling optimistic that Kyler Murray wasn't going to show up, and he didn't show up. Or that he was going to show up, my bad, and he didn't show up. And yeah, well, today we're going to do our first prospect breakdown on the channel, and it's going to be the man himself, Kyler Murray. Been scouting him a lot during the season. Watched a lot of Oklahoma games, and watched him torch my team, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Some people may say he had a bad game. I think he played excellent in that game. I think his team, his defense, let him down. We're gonna talk about Kyler Murray. All right, I'm back. Kyler Murray's cons for me aren't that huge. He's not there. I mean, well, some people think the first one is huge. I'm saying it's not. He doesn't have a lot of cons, of course, as he's like the best quarterback. This draft, he's just once in a generational talent, but he doesn't have that many cons for me. I was scouting him back at Texas A&M. Really huge Kyler Murray guy. Not trying to be too biased to him either. I just don't have many cons for Kyler Murray. But the first one is his height. But we've seen quarterbacks like Drew Brees, Doug Flutie, and other quarterbacks still be successful in the NFL despite their height. Um, saw a funny picture. Some people think he's 5'9". I disagree. But we all can have our opinions. I saw a funny picture that my friend sent me of him next to Baker Mayfield, and they're both like similar height. I think he's 5'10" in my opinion, or 5'11", but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he's still gonna have to get the job done, and I think he will. Um, and the second one for me is being a leader on men. Um, on Twitter, I feel like this isn't that big, but it is in the NFL level. But on Twitter, some of the Oklahoma guys do look at him as a leader, but I just need to see him lead his team more. Um, Baker was more of a leader of men than Kyler was, but who's to say Kyler doesn't groom into that at the next level? Um, I just want to see Kyler be a guy that you can look into in a huddle and know, hey, we're gonna win this game. You know, that's what a quarterback is supposed to be, a true leader of men, and you feel confident with him on your side. Anyways, moving on. I need to see him get the ball out faster. In the Alabama game, it was painful because for his height, he's gonna have to learn this. Should be the first thing. He said he's gonna work extensively with a camp this summer. He wants to further himself. Well, this had better be the first thing he works on. Um, I can't even say this is not that huge because it is. I'm not expecting him to get the ball Tom Brady or Drew Brees type fast, but he needs to get the ball fast for his height. And you know, I mean, sometimes you'll see Kyler in the Alabama game was painful to watch. Again, his offensive line just couldn't hold Quentin Williams and those guys up front. And uh, I mean, Marquise Brown is covered, and he's trying to look to his next options, and it's too late. He's sacked. So it's important to know, all your options. 1, 2, 3, and 4, or just 1, 2, and 3, and be able to get that ball out fast. Such a good weapon to use, and when he gets this down really good, he could play this game for a long time. But he really needs to learn this. Okay, we're gonna move on to the pros. All right, Kyler Murray has a lot of pros. Couldn't even fit a lot of them on this list, but these are some of the things that stood out to me while I was watching tape on Kyler Murray. And I'll put some videos here while discussing them, as always, in these prospect breakdown videos. I don't know if I'll do that for the cons, as always, because I want to pick them up. But I also link a video of the where I found these videos from. Shout out to Chris Kaufman. And I'm gonna put a video in the link. In the description. I'm gonna put the link in the description. I'm so tired. I'm gonna put the link in the description. It's a 3-hour video. You don't have to watch the full 3 hours, but it shows every snap, incompletions, completions, You know, 1 or 3 yard runs by Kyler Murray. You know, this shows every rush attempt, everything while Kyler Murray, so you can really scout in detail. Don't expect you to watch the whole 3 hours in one day, but it's definitely useful when scouting, you know, a prospect if you want to do your own scouting. Now, moving on. My first pro, his patience. Kyler Murray has Le'Veon Bell type patience back there for a runner. He will let things develop and run, and even when people are in the backfield ready to get him. Also has patience as a thrower. That really stood out to me watching him all season long. I love his patience, and that's another thing that you have to like about Kyler Murray. It's just his patience, and at some moments, I've seen him keep his head up. And he needs to do that more, but keeping his head up in the pocket and looking through all his options, is keeping his head up the whole time. You know, just being aware. But that's just my first pro for him. My second one is just he reads the defense well. Um, you know, I've seen clips of him. He ID'd his mic, and then he read the defense, and then he got a completion because he made the right audibles, and you know, made the right play call. I mean, that's just things you gotta love out of seeing a Heisman winner in Kyler Murray. I mean, I would expect nothing less of a Lincoln Riley product. Um, but yeah, I love seeing that from Kyler Murray because a lot of people doubt him, and for his size and stuff. I mean, you could be, I don't care if you're 5'0", or a midget, a real midget, playing the quarterback position. Those are things you have to do when playing the quarterback position, and Kyler Murray does that well. Um, and then the third thing, he makes really good decisions. Um, I mean, every quarterback you're gonna have their day when they sometimes they make a few bad decisions, but I like what I've seen from him in making good decisions um, so far. Of course, not all the time you're gonna get a perfect game, but he makes some good decisions. And of course, speed kills. Uh, Kyler Murray's speed is something Michael Vick like, and Michael Vick, you know, I feel like he can't be touched in terms of speed. But Kyler Murray is up there with Michael Vick, some of the greats to rush at the quarterback position. Doug Flutie, you know, Manziel, those guys. Yeah, Manziel is interesting because he's so fast, but he was more of a buffer type quarterback, and he was like 6 feet 5'11". Um, Kyler Murray is an interesting one for sure, and his speed definitely kills. You cannot let him. I'm telling you, the NFL is gonna have problems with Kyler Murray because he slides really well. He played baseball. He slides really well, um, and once he gets out the pocket and starts surveying his options, I mean, then he can throw on the run, or he could just run really fast. And we've seen him run for like 70-yard touchdowns. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, you know. Um, the fifth thing on this list, he's an elite play action thrower. I don't. My, I really love play action throwers, and my favorite play action quarterback. I mean, my favorite two quarterbacks in the NFL currently are Drew Brees and Tom Brady, and that's one thing that you have to be able to do at an elite level. And Kyler Murray is the only quarterback in this draft class when I was scouting um, that can do this at an elite level. Will Greer's all right, but I don't, you know, I just, you have to get this down to be an NFL quarterback, in my opinion, at an elite level. And it's nice that he already has this down at an elite level coming out of Oklahoma because he's going to need it. And not many quarterbacks get it their first year in the NFL, so I hope that goes well for him. I hope he keeps this up. But I was very impressed with watching Kyler Murray's tape. But, you know, just the little things, you know, taking it day by day. Kyler Murray is not going to be you know, I actually don't know if he won't be an All Pro quarterback his first year, after seeing what Mahomes did. But he's not gonna be, you know. Oh geez, I don't know, cause I'm not. I learned you cannot doubt Kyler Murray. You can't doubt any quarterback. A lot of people doubted Mahomes, Trubisky. All right, my pro comp for Kyler Murray is Michael Vick, of course. I'm not. I'm sorry for Michael Vick fans if that's disrespectful to Vick. He's actually one of my favorite all time quarterbacks. It was fun to watch growing up, but I just didn't know who else to compare him to. he's so good and so elusive and so fast, and he's gonna be that Michael Vick level of fun to watch, and definitely gonna bring that Michael Vick factor to the game. Um, so yeah, let me know. We're gonna have more prospect breakdowns coming up. I just had Kyler Murray already in the works. I had the pictures edited and stuff, so I was like, all right. But let me know who you want to see in prospect breakdowns, and I'll get to working on scouting them. And have a good day, man. God bless.